hot mess. Symphony of slow down, dance like a marionettes. Plie pirouettes, Swan Lake arabesque. Trickle down.
Yeah, the title is yes, the machines is just fucking up the world, and we're just running along with it headway and just pissing into the wind basically with machines and shit. So it's a two-part title. There's machines that make civilization fun, and there's machines that make civilization fun. That's the part two of it. And yeah, it's the attack of the machines. Machines don't kill people. Definitely attack of the drones, basically.
Okay.
There's an article out, I think yesterday, where now they basically coming out like DARPA is making friendly Terminators, basically. So it's just along the lines of where we heading, where it's already at, basically, not where we heading. This was done in one concentrated piece of time over the course of maybe about a year and a half, almost close to 2 years, while I was learning Ableton, just trying to get my Ableton skills up. And the writing is basically all there, but I started just to feel myself on Ableton a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute, I got something here, because I get my beats on Ableton. At that point in time, I was just getting started, trying to kick it up, switching over from the MPC, and yeah, man, I started writing. I started liking what I was doing, and of course, it's always a confluence of what's going on in the world. So that gives you all the ammo in the world, basically, to fuck with. So yeah, I totally enjoyed what was going on. I was liking the flow. But the dystopian society aspect of it was kind of kicking in, and that's like I had plenty of fuel. And I tried to do that shit every album, and I failed miserably on every album. It's like I start off every album, I'm gonna flip about 4, 5, 6 styles on this album, and I think I'm doing it, but in all reality, the styles are probably so subtle it doesn't really seem like that. It just sounds like I'm flipping. For this one, I really, really tried hard, but I didn't quite master it. So there are about 4 or 5 songs that I have live versions to that will actually come out free on the site, where you'll kind of hear me after getting a couple of shows down and be able to kick them shits live, and they'll flow a little bit more. But I wanted to put what I call the first drafts out there, because I think there's a lot of they're fragile. I'll put it that way. Some of them are very fragile in its delivery, but its intent was strong. So I wanted to let it be out there and let the fans actually get some first drafts of stuff. So this is actually kind of it's kind of 1.0 that actually would be a 2.0 on a couple of songs like Machines, Apex Predator, Redemption Sound Dub. It's a couple of joints now that I kick them live. You're like, oh, okay. I can hear it a little bit more. I see what you're trying to do. See where you're trying to go. Black Mamba Serums was interesting. It's the same thing, the crazy transitional point in time in history. I dipped out of New York right before 9/11, but the Subverse office, was right down the block from the World Trade Center. So somehow I knew some shit was happening. I dipped out early. Shit went down. I was holed up in a haunted ass cotton mill. And the vibes was crazy. And tag that in with what's going on in the world. And I think at that point in time, I had just started to learn in Sonic Paris, not the stuff on in Sonic Paris, and I think for that album, the SP808, which didn't have any sequencer to it, and so I had this crazy chop and paste style. But that's how it is. I get infatuated with a new piece of equipment and then try to make a fucking album with it, and just catch all types of headaches and grief trying to make it happen. Then when it's hot, then I get it. I'm like, all right,
I hear you.
I figured it out. I'm gonna put that motherfucker down and move to something else.
Yo, word up. This is for DJ Mamba.
Yeah, I guess the time period you could say was 83, 84, 85, 86. Basically, when I was a young kid to these writing styles.
Right.
Yeah, I came up. You know, most people know my history was a little bit turbulent growing up. I came up in the youth system basically. And I did I did go to a family, but I went to a family that had troubles and they was in the process of breaking up. So, yeah, I was basically on my own in junior high school. And basically writing was the thing that saved my life. There were groups of writers. There was tons of writers out. Writing at that point in time, I think, was in its third generation. And the trains were just tore the fuck up then. And I started locally with my group of local writers that I came up with, which is a man Vega 5, Lust TPA, Sir TPA, Nile, and that was the local crew. And the local scene was just as politically ill as basically the big boys. So I just made my way through different circles, and I basically what I do is ride the F train at night, and it's a pretty long train ride. We go from 179th Street out to Coney Island, and I'd sleep on the train at night, and I ride that shit 4 times, come back and forth, and it'd be daytime. And so I used to get up, and at night you always run into writers. And so I would run into writers at night, write all night, and then possibly make it to school or to sleep on the trains in the daytime. And doing that way, I came across a bunch of people. Shot 147 actually looked out for me a couple of times. I would meet up with him and go writing with him. L3TNS was like the first one to basically be like, oh, you a little motherfucker like me. It's fucked up. I'm gonna put you down with a major crew, basically. So I would go and hang out in the Lower East Side area, and I had my little routes and stuff that I would go and write. But yeah, I mean, who was up killing it at that time? It depends on the line, but I would have to say, Quick, Satch, and Men, and the RTW boys toward the end were doing the most damage. In terms of bombing and then actually, pieces and blockbusters. Toward the end, those are the ones that was killing it. Cap, Ammo, PJ. There was another Terror. There was another group from the Bronx. They was doing their things in the Bronx, but I say RTW was pretty much the last.
Right.
All city crew before the train started to get buffed at that point in time.
Right.
So this is the last wave right before the clean train movement. Besides the fact that you may see a lot more revolutionary stuff, I mean, I think it evolving into street art was necessary because they start locking motherfuckers up. If you get lumped in a category for tagging, and they call that shit gang tagging, if that's not what you're doing, there was a reason why street art kind of, I think, picked up a little bit more, because if you got busted with that, stenciling some fucking flowers up on a fucking corner, they not gonna beat you down over that shit. But yeah, if you get caught with some fucking inky ass markers, and you just caught a tag somewhere, they're going to try to relate that to some gang activity. So between that and, obviously the trains got a little bit harder because they could just fuck around and bust you from Homeland Security.
All right.
So these things start to add up if you don't have your fucking bail money, and let motherfuckers know exactly what they're doing so they can tie you to some art, not tie you to the vandalism part, which is what we all. I'm a bomb. I love the bomb. I love all aspects of it, but I like the bomb more. Yeah, they kicking ass, but expect it to get maybe a little bit more revolutionary. You start seeing motherfuckers saying, I don't give a fuck. Put some social messages out on the street in places where people can see them.
Yeah.
shit was dope, man. We started rehearsing and we noticed that them songs fucking aged lovely, man.
Yeah.
They got a nice vintage patina to them, and then when you rip them, the intent, they're still raw, fucked up and gully, man. Just hit hard. So in that aspect, it I think it put a smile on our faces. We were like, oh shit, Fun Crusher is still Fun Crusher, basically. So we were really, really excited about that aspect of it. And other than that, it's just getting up on stage and hope your voice don't go out because you're fucking rapping too many damn words. So yeah, the shit was hot, man. It was good seeing a bunch of motherfuckers you ain't seen forever. It was like nothing changed. It was like it was 97 all over again, basically. The same motherfuckers was there in 97 was at this particular show. And yeah, it was a big love fest, basically. Yeah, man, somewhere around 8 steps, I kind of figured out there's a formula. With basically Fun Crushing in general. We had analyzed albums and shit that was out at the time and realized, there is a formula. You can create a classic album. There's a formula to creating a classic album. There got to be a certain amount of bangers on it. Got to be at least 4 or 5 bangers on it. Got to be some introspective joints. Got to be a little hot instrumental. There got to be your shit that just knocks people in the head. And I think 8 Steps is one of the first songs we figured out, okay, first of all, you gotta fucking come up with a hot ass opening line, and you gotta structure it in that type of way. You gotta go line for line. You gotta open strong and go line for line and end strong and have the ill ass chorus. And
definitely.
You have an ill ass anti-chorus, I would say. It's more of an anti-chorus than a chorus. And at that point in time, that's basically what's the thought pattern. That gets a little bit difficult at some point in times because I'm definitely on Twitter, blackout. On Facebook, blackout. Like, yeah, man, all this social networking that's meant to entrap you and basically collect your ideas and thoughts and put them on a database so motherfuckers know exactly what classification to put you in. Makes it a little bit hard for me.
CIA book.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It makes it a little bit harder to put it out there, but I do actually have a site that's coming that I'm working on right now. It should be out in a month. So it's YFQ. It's your Friendship Quest, Young Fresh Quakers.
Okay.
Your funds quickly.
Okay.
There's all types of acronyms, all types of crazy acronyms for it.
Yeah.
And that will should be up by 1st of June. Just getting it together right now.
Okay.
That and that will be the label, and it will be the central place where basically, my thoughts are cataloged under my database.
Man, yeah, for sure.
So apologies for not checking Twitter or anything. I see folks out there. You can come on and holler and say what's up. I may catch it. Don't expect me to go on there and say some crazy shit about Romney.
Yeah, right.
Or Bain Capital, or the fact that the person in charge of Bain Capital is number 3 at the Mossad. That shit, and I normally would have put that shit out there and be like, yo, you know this? I'm like, that's a trap.
Yeah, right.
That's a trap.
Yeah.
So, hopefully I try to keep a little bit of mystique, but have a place where cats can come to get the information and the music. Right. And I promise it won't take too long. It won't take 5 years for the next album to come out, because I'm on it fucking hard. The next album's like 40% done already now. Okay. So you definitely see some type of vocal album and some type of instrumental album every year. Okay. So 2 projects a year for the next 3 years at least. Spoke to Orko night before last. We're trading songs back and forth. We're going to do like a 7-song project, basically. Okay. About 7 songs. So about maybe 4 vocals, 3 instrumentals, 5 vocals, 2 instrumentals, something like that. Yeah, new album comes out May 8th. You can catch that shit at all your fine retailers, wherever you catch your shit digitally, iTunes, wherever you catch your shit, it'll be there.
It's the atom splitting Nautilus, the sub-level anatomical omnipotent, circle squared Nautilus, allied some mortar brigade. You don't want us to roll out the red carpet.